me yet, so I'll just, okay.
Oh!
What? I'm sorry, what just happened to you? Did you blow out your hip? What just, are you okay? You're fine, you'll be okay. Okay, just do one more time, I'm sorry.
You know, might go off, or I don't know, what kind of practical jokes do you play?
Well, with my new chemistry set, thanks to Brie Larson, I do like to make stink bombs.
Here's that rainy day they told me about, and I laughed at the thought.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, George. How's it going?
It's going all right.
Locked out. Even I can't get past the security.
Welcome to the Digibowl on Fox Kids with your host, Terry Bradshaw.
Look at me. I get to host the first Digibowl. The first. Super Bowls, they come and go. But the Digibowl, now that's exciting stuff. But can't do it alone, so luckily I have two authentic Digi-Destins, Izzy and Kari, helping me. First, let's check in with my sideline correspondent, Kari. Maybe she can tell us what in the heck a Digibowl is.
Fantastic. It was fantastic.
Natalie is fantastic.
It's going to be fantastic. I mean, it's going to be...
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And it's awesome. I'm enjoying absolutely awesome.
It's so... I'm so happy. George is so happy. It's just fantastic.
I've been away for 7 months. Now out filming the Book of Boba. Ooh, fight scenes, makeup. The one thing I've really missed is this hidden gem. Here in my hometown, Rotorua. The Polynesian spa. Come on, New Zealand, try something new. There are no words.
Konnichiwa! ボンボットファミリーと私たちのライブ放送へようこそ。私たちはあなたの視聴とリスニングの喜びのための素晴らしいショーを持っています。今あなたのホストスコッティ・ジェイロとジェリー・ケーブルにステイ・ボンバードを楽しんで覚えておいてください。
Welcome to the Bombad Cast.
I did not know that. Saturday night was the Jar Jar Jam advertised on MosEspa.com to have Star Wars Funkadelic music from hot DJs, as well as a set from Ahmed Best and his band. This offsite event sold out fast. Other reported moments included Rick McCallum dancing to a chant of Go Ricky, Go, and Maul himself, Ray Park, doing some rapping. We're live. Oh my God, we were so caught up in the moment.
Oh, excuse
Holy
me.
cow. What an embarrassing. Hi, everyone.
Oh, you caught us. Yes. Oh, contrary to popular belief, we can read. That's right.
We only read fanzines, though.
Only
That's all-
fanzines. That's it.
That's it.
No,
It's
else.
self-published works, but that's whatever.
That's another thing.
That's another thing. That being said,
I listen to audiobooks.
And listen to
Hi,
audiobooks.
what's up?
Welcome to the Bombad Cast. My name is Scotty Joe. This is Jerry the Canada Cable. Super happy to be here. We have a very special show lined up for you. To do some stuff up top, make sure you like this post. And speaking of Star Wars Celebration, oh my God,
it's so close.
Coming up soon. Literally, just about like, what would that be? If it's 31 days from when I'm leaving, then it's like 36, 37 days until the actual panel itself. So live on the university stage, April 18th at 3 p.m. JST, Japan Standard Time. We will be hanging out, and I will be giving my lecture on midichlorians. Jerry will be helping probably facilitate the live stream for that. That's all in the works. We're figuring it out.
Yeah, yeah. I will be up in a bathrobe with a cup of coffee, making sure that things don't crash. Probably.
Exactly. And funny enough, our guest coming on is a Star Wars Celebration historian, and I don't say that lightly because this person
that's needed.
And you know what? We had the privilege last year around May. I think it was May or June. I don't remember. I think it was May. We had Dan Matson on to talk about Celebration 1 back in 1999. And I know Kara had been on with Alden for Octa Radio. I'd seen Into a Larger World all around social media. So I was like, okay, I'm tangentially aware of this person. But literally, we get a DM and it's like, hey, can I get y'all's addresses? Look how kind this is. I got this. It's been about, I would say, 10 or 9 months in the making. Thank you so much for featuring the zine in your video. Hope to chat with you so soon. And look, here we are. Here we are. So exciting. So without further ado, let's bring in the one and only Kara DJ.
Yeah, and our exclusive peek into season 5 of Ahsoka's theme song or whatever.
Yes, that's it.
Season 2 of Ahsoka's theme song. Yes, Kara, welcome.
Hello, all the intro videos. I'm really just over the moon to be here.
Good,
thank you.
You set the tone. They clearly set the tone, tenfold.
Yeah.
So okay,
we do go on.
We do so much. I gotta say this first of all, a public thank you for this because this
was such this is a better thing to get in the mail than my typical energy bill. So thank you very much.
Exactly.
That's true. I hope that's true. But thank you. I was so excited to see every time Dan is interviewed. I always, for Star Wars stuff, I always check it out. And then to see that my zine was that he mentioned my zine was, obviously that meant the world. And then it was just great. I love sharing that zine, the Star Wars Woodstock one. It's hard to pick a favorite. I've made over 50 at this point, but it's got to be my favorite of all.
Do you mind if I'm going to make this big so people can just kind of see as I flip through it?
Of course.
Because if you don't mind, can you actually go ahead and kind of plug what you got? Like what is the zine that you've worked on? Let me actually do this. Hold on. I have a better idea.
Oh, thanks.
Let's do. No, that's not what I want. This is what I want.
Hello.
I'll show this.
Check out the zine.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah, so the zine I've been making since June of technically April, but really June of 2019. It originated with a bonus mini zine that I passed out in Chicago. And then June I made the first real issue, and it'll be 6 years this year, which is crazy.
God,
but yeah, and it was it coincided with COVID, so I was mailing out an issue every month to 200 people.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there were 2 years where I did 12 issues a year plus some bonus ones too, and I don't really know how. I was unemployed. That's how.
Yeah, sure.
But
you have a lot of time doing that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, absolutely.
They're not small either. They physically they look small, dimensionally, because they can fit in my hand. But the content of them, it's not like you wasted space. It wasn't like you were filling anything.
Space is precious, yeah.
Yes.
And the zines are all totally handmade. I make the physical document with paper, glue, markers,
That's so
stickers,
awesome.
tape, and then I get it. I have a print shop where it gets scanned and copied. So I don't actually do anything digitally. I don't know.
That's insane.
I don't know how.
So it's
yeah.
This is like old school. Like this is like the way that they have been made for like decades.
This is as authentic as it gets for the most part.
Yeah.
Like truly.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, it's honestly
This is punk rock as hell. It's punk rock as hell.
Thank you. That means the world. But
I'm an elder emo. It's fine. Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love like the history of fanzines is also really important to me, as just like a fan historian in general, and the fanzine culture and especially around Star Wars and of course Star Trek, et cetera, et cetera. But it was so huge, and it was also so female in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, and so I love to dive into that, and I hope that I honor that in some way. Their zines were honestly way cooler than mine. They were really cool.
I think you do honor it because it's a very well put together zine for sure. Absolutely.
But like to me, it's this idea of, you know, whenever you've got a fandom as large as we do in our Star Wars, you know, side of the world, and of course, are the next big conventions in Japan, and you know, I'm happy to be going to it. People tend to forget that if it wasn't for these kind of things in the 80s and 90s, that the fandom would not have been as carried over as it has been now into the 2020s, right?
It's
so
the
like,
foundation. Yeah, it's really because it's pre-internet. That was how people talked. So it was through, they call them locks or LOCs, letters of comment, that were in these zines. You would write and be like, I think Lando's the best. And then someone 3 months later would reply and be like, no, actually, he's the worst. And then and they would put their mailing addresses. So you could also like, write, which is crazy.
Insane to think about now.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Yeah.
No.
I think too. No, you keep going, Kara. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. And then so they would communicate that way. And then they would like submit to zines, and they were like, some of them were like 100 or more pages, and mine are like 8.5 by 11 folded in half, but theirs were like 8.5 by 11 and then a bunch of pages, and they would bind them, and the fan art is like
insane,
incredible. Yeah.
See, for me though, and when you look at this kind of stuff and you see the work that goes into it, this is truly like grassroots. Brian says it best. Like it is. This is truly a Woodstock approach. And one thing I wanted to mention, just on a level of, you know, design and how you kind of went about it, like what kind of got you into this? Because this is not something that people, if they're not completely plugged into it, they wouldn't understand. Do you know what I mean? Right.
Yes, I totally do. In high school, I wasn't really like one of the artsy kids. I thought the artsy kids were really cool, and I wanted to be an artsy kid, but I wasn't really. I was more of like a choir kid. But I was in an art forever. But I was in an art club, and they had a zine fest. So that was like the first time I heard about it and what it was, and I made one for it, and it's terrible, but whatever. But that was the first time I really did it. I don't remember if I copied it or I just made it and then someone copied it for me. That's probably more likely. But so that was the first time I made one. And then when I was going to Chicago, I didn't know a soul in the Star Wars community at that time.
Man.
And I feel like so many of us, Chicago was like so important for us, right?
Yes.
That's where we met.
That's where we met. And that's how we've had the privilege to do what we do. And like, that's how we met people like Brandon. You know, that's how we met people like Alden. That's how we met people that we are all now plugged in with. Like, I remember watching Dan Madsen get honored at that event, and then having the balls to be like, I'm going to reach out to him now that we're 5 years away from that. And we're also 5 years away from, you know, Celebration. I'm sorry, 25 years away from Celebration 99. So I'm like, I wouldn't have known about him so much so if it wasn't for this event, much less meet Jerry, much less know that you are wandering around. It was the weirdest thing.
It's totally true. And like so many people that I'm so close with now, like best friends, were there in Chicago. And I was there alone. I didn't know anybody, and I decided to like take the leap and go, and it was way too late to get tickets. So I applied to work there.
No way.
I worked in the store.
That's crazy.
In Chicago?
Yeah.
In Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So we definitely crossed paths at some point.
Oh, I'm sure. I was running lines
Oh,
and
yeah.
like dancing around and stuff. And I mean, it was insane. It was exhausting, but it was worth it just to get in. And like I was able to, because I started late the day of the episode 9 trailer. So I was able to watch it on the show floor, which I know you guys were there too. It was to this day is one of the best moments of my life. Like completely separated from the movie, watching that trailer on the floor.
Oh yeah.
Peak.
I might cry talking about it because you've seen the reaction. I mean, I'm sure you've seen. You probably watched a reaction video before you saw me. Like you even knew me. Like that moment for everyone. And my kids, look, I teach middle school, so my kids are like, "Why did you cry?" And I'm like, I don't think you understand how
you don't understand.
It was a huge deal. It was
a huge deal.
We didn't know the title of the film. We didn't know Palpatine was going to laugh at the end and what the hell that meant or anything, if it meant anything. Just all of it. Lando.
I can't.
Holy shit.
I can't.
Yeah,
it was incredible. Anyway. So I was able to see that, and then on the last day, I said I couldn't work, so then I could just walk around. So that was great. But anyway, so I was going to Chicago, and I had started listening to Sky Talkers, and I listened to they're the best, and I listened to their like prep celebration prep fit podcast episode, and I knew that people brought stuff to trade, and I was like, I don't really know what I can bring. It's too late to get anything like made, but I am a collage artist. I'm an art journaler.
Yeah,
I make scrapbooks and things like that. So I was like, there's that really simple 1-page. I wish I had it. I have it somewhere around here. There's a really simple 1-page zine that you can just make on 1 page. You cut it and then you fold it, and it's a little tiny book. So I made one, and I only made 50, I think.
Wow.
And I loved it. And obviously, like I said, Chicago was life-changing. So then I really dove in, and I was like, I wonder if I could make a full issue, because I was copying and printing at the library at the time. It was only 5 cents a page. And they have really good quality color printing at the time.
Sure.
So I was like, I'll give it a shot. And then I joined the Super Chill group for Blast Points, shout out, on Facebook.
Fantastic.
And I posted that I was making a zine, and then I got some people who wanted to order it, and then it was just a spiral from there, basically.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
Extremely.
I love that, because literally it's the Last Jedi of it all. Like, it's a spark. It's just a spark, and then it'll light everything else after. And like, who would have thought 6 years later that you would be doing this, number one, or you'd still be talking about doing that one thing that you never would have thought would be any bigger than it is now. Like Jerry gave out buttons at Celebration that year, Canon Junkie buttons, and it was just
Canon Junkie before Bombad. I was like trying to get my foot into the, yeah.
That's all it takes, though, which is amazing.
Bring something to share.
Yes.
One person saying, "I believe in you," like I might get choked up, but just a single person saying, "Hey, I like this. I believe in you," will change. That can change the course of your whole life. And like,
100%.
even if it's a hobby, even it's like this. Every Thursday we've done this now for as long as we have. But like, it is so ingrained in our natural circadian rhythms that I couldn't imagine doing this, not one night. And I'm sure the same with your podcast. But like this for you, I'm sure you go home or you just sit behind your desk. You're like, yes. Sometimes, and I know it's not easy. I know these things can't always be easy. There's just no way.
It's a lot of work.
You sit down and you're like, oh my God, I get to do this. And there are people on your Patreon that pay for it. And it's just, I don't know. For those that don't know, I'm going to get that pulled up. Hold on.
Yeah,
get the Patreon pulled up. Hold on.
Yeah, I used to have subscriptions outside of Patreon, but now I have a full-time job. So it's like I'm only making 4 zines a year, 1 per quarter. And I put it all up through Patreon because I've been posting like a ton of stuff up there, and I love just like blogging there and sharing what I'm researching and all the crazy crap I'll get into, which we'll discuss. So like, I like to share all that stuff, and like Patreon has been such a great platform. I've been on it since fall of 2020. Yep. And it just made sense to marry that's me. It made sense to connect the zine to the Patreon. It was just, it just makes sense. It keeps it all together, and it helps me share like a ton of other stuff too.
See, we want to get better with our Patreon. We are not good at it. I mean, we
it took a while for me.
It's hard.
The tomatoes are being thrown at the screen as we speak
Yes.
about our page. Our Patreon is god awful right now. We love
Yes.
you. So
It took a while to get into the vibe of it, but yeah, I really love it a lot. And sometimes like, oh, that's me.
but I love this video because it's you talking about why and what it means to you, and I don't know.
Yeah, I made the video for a friend who was doing a zine event at their local library or something like that, and they wanted to share my zine there, and they were like, can you put together a little presentation that just talks about like what a zine is? So I was like, okay. So I made a little video, and it's really nice because it does talk about the zine and why I make it and how I make it. I literally show like step by step how I make it, which is cool.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's fun.
I just want to leave it on because it's so pretty. There's something to be said about
it's shot very well. Yes,
colors and montage. Like I got not a montage, a collage style like art. Like it's a lost art. Like I have my kids do it digitally for my media class, and like sure it's fun, sure it's fulfilling, but like I had one kids from my beta club do a scrapbook competition. One of the biggest things at beta club, and like they were like, "There's so much that goes into this that we didn't consider." I'm like, that's part of it. But the thing is, their final product was beautiful. You got 5 kids working on a scrapbook and like what they pulled together and what they thought, what would work, and what it's just. I don't know. It's so special to see that foundation happen there, and to know that people still put in the time and do this is amazing. I don't know.
Yeah. Collage is such I'm showing here like how I do it, basically just step by step, and the like physical act of collage, it looks so complicated. Like some of my non-Star Wars art, I know it looks like really complex when people look at it, but I also lead collage workshops at local libraries, and people who like people who don't think they can do it, they end up making like the coolest shit like in the world. So I really am a huge advocate. This is what I'm showing now is the kind of mini zine that I made for Chicago. It's just literally one sheet of paper, you cut it once, and then it's a zine. So.
Oh, that's so
really cool. That's really cool.
Man, I love this kind of stuff. And look, I was going to actually show some more images of your zines from our emails that we've had back and forth. So look, let's see if it pulls up. Do y'all see it? Yeah, there we go.
I don't know if it's going to get bigger. I had to like, cause I'm like so tech challenged. I had PDFs, but I couldn't rotate them. And then it was like, I had a program, but then it was putting a watermark, and I was like, oh my God. So I was able to make images.
It's not letting me zoom it. Oh, here we go.
Hey, listen, there you go. They should get the zine anyway. You know?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that was a spread from the London celebration issue I did, which was like, wait, I have it here. It was a scrapbook just about London. So that was what that was.
Well, it's funny too, because some of these people I see like Star Wars sessions, like we've did podcasts with them before, right? Junior, with Star Wars sessions.
Yeah, like right at the very beginning when we first started. Absolutely.
Yep.
Very British.
And like we've been around Savannah before, you know.
Savannah's the best.
Savannah's great.
Yeah, it's amazing. That guy, wait, go back really quick for a funny story. The guy on the right-hand page right next to the Japan logo, he is the guy who says, just let the girl speak.
He was really in Rogue One?
Yes.
Just let the girl speak. Yeah.
He was in London. We were like leaving on maybe the last day, and he was sitting at a table in the like main big concourse that was there in the middle, and he had a sign that said, I'm the guy that says just let the girl speak.
No.
And my boyfriend and I went up to him, and we were like, for real? And he was like, yeah. And he was like so excited to talk about it. It was so.
Did he do the line?
Did you have him give us a good one? Give us a good one right now. Yeah.
I don't think he did it, but he told like kind of the story about how like he is a rebel fighter like in the shot, but the line itself is ADR, and they were like, but they were encouraging people to like speak up while they were filming and like say stuff, and but it was just the funniest. We call it Star Wars magic, like. Weirdest, most random celebration moment.
So you brought it up in this fanzine. For those that don't know, it's the Celebration, original Celebration one. I know I was jokingly reading it earlier, but like there's one thing I never knew about, and I want to know how you got this detail about other reported moments include Rick McCallum dancing to a chant of "Go Ricky, go." Where the hell did you find that?
Ricky, go.
That's peak for us. I hope you realize that.
I can't say exactly where I found it.
I want the footage of that.
I could, well, that I don't have, but I could tell you with a little bit of research into my own research, but I'm pretty sure off the top of my head that comes from, there was a blog or like an article that was on StarWars.com, like right after that one of their writers wrote like on his plane ride home. Scott Chernoff wrote something right after. He was the MC on Stage B, but there was another one that was like someone, or it was maybe the guy who was writing day by day. It was from the StarWars.com coverage, I'm pretty sure, but I have read so many blogs and so many accounts and so many message boards and so many Force.net posts that it's hard to say exactly, but I could find out.
No, I understand that because when you're looking for reliable quotes, the internet is filled with them, but the places where you find them are the least unexpected places ever.
It's true.
You know, like there's an interview that James Acino did about the Darth Plagueis book where he's like, I went past all like methods of like, who's the company that puts out the books? Why am I blanking so hard right now?
Random House, Penguin Random House.
Del Rey. He like went.
Del Rey, yeah. Sorry.
It went past directly to Howard Rothman, who was like George Lucas' like right hand, like his right hand man for stuff, and like everything that he asked about Plagueis went straight to Rothman, to Lucas, from Lucas back to Rothman, from Rothman back to Lucino. So like Del Rey had no control over like that aspect of the book. So the reason I say that is I wouldn't have found that interview if it wasn't for a 2012 interview on the Force.net, literally like 2 weeks before the acquisition. Like like it's the craziest thing that no one else would be looking for unless they're doing the hardcore research. So like this is just one of those things where no wonder you listen to every Dan Matson interview because he drops nuggets. Like
it's true.
Every interview.
It's true. And usually I try not to say something as fact until I get at least 2 sources confirming it. But that Rick one, I was like, I believe that.
I believe that shit too.
Yeah.
Tinfoil, man.
That is the most Rick thing I think I've ever heard in my life.
100%.
You know?
Oh my God.
It was awesome. You know?
Go Ricky, go. I just freaking can see it, man. Yes.
Yeah. Nathan's got it stuck in his head. All right.
Yeah.
But like this truly was Woodstock in the weirdest way. And you know, when we talked to Dan about it a couple months ago and you were in our chat and you were hanging out with us, it was like I felt like I was talking to a legend. Like genuinely a legend.
He's amazing. And he's so incredibly kind. Like, and I had heard because I was so nervous before I talked to him because that was my holy grail interview before when I was looking into obviously Celebration 1. He's the one, you know? So I was so nervous. And actually a funny story is the first time, so we had our podcast scheduled and his tech or my tech would not work. And we tried so many different things. And I was literally like sobbing. I was panicking. And so I emailed him and was like, I'm so sorry. Can we reschedule? And he was like, yeah, of course. And then we did. And it worked perfectly the second time. I was like,
thank God.
I mean, think about what he put up with this, you know, what he put up for this event. Like,
I can't even imagine.
That's a patient dude.
And it's also like just the fact how important he was for, and it's like you don't want to talk about not that you don't want to, but it's like Star Trek fandom is very relevant to our fandom, I think, because even though it's obviously 2 different things, it's so different, totally different fandoms and different practices, if you will, and all that. I feel like so much of what they did and built in the days before Star Wars existed is like a huge part of the foundation of Star Wars fandom too. So the fact that he's like connected to both of those, I think is just like so cool. And and just to get the whole Celebration 1 story from him. And I also talked to him recently and it's not for the podcast or anything. I just had a huge list of questions and he just let me ask him all the questions.
That's
awesome.
Great. It's so great.
He's awesome.
Like, he's one of the few people that when you reach out to him, he's very quick to respond. And like
right.
I haven't followed up with him, but like I know he's going to Japan, and I'm like, I just want to visit with you.
You got to meet up with him.
I just want to be in your presence and feel your warmth.
You know what I mean? The jury is out, but it is believed in most circles that Dan might be Scotty and I's actual father. Like
wow.
Scotty and I, like, yeah.
Oh, dude.
I could see it.
I feel like honestly, it's like I feel like that man is our dad. So.
Safe to assume he has a copy of this, right?
Yes, absolutely. I sent him.
Okay,
I sent him
making
multiple.
Sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I was like, if he didn't, send me a couple extra. I'll just go put him in his hand when I see him.
No, because I sent it to him right away. I told him. I think because I waited until I interviewed him before I made it.
Oh, cool.
That was like the last step. I was like, I can't make a zine about it and consider it complete until I've talked to Dan.
That's incredible.
And then he posted about it, and then I got an email that was like, I saw your Dan Matson's post about your zine. Is there any way I could order one? And it was Steve Sansweet.
Holy shit.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna mail you a free one.
Yeah, to Rancho Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna give it to you. And then he ended up coming on my show last year, which was incredible.
Oh,
that's awesome.
There's just places that I would just have a rotating, like, especially in your scenario where this is like a lot of what you do and a lot of what you love to do. Like, no matter what, it would just go to Lucasfilm every time I make one. You know what I mean? Like, it would, like, it just has to be additional to anybody.
Like
just goes.
They'd
to
be like they heat Lucasfilm with the ones that we make. You know?
Yeah, I mean, people at Lucasfilm have definitely had it. When I was in London for Celebration, we were sitting and hanging out in, like, again, that middle concourse by one of the cafes, and by, I think it was the stage that was like up the stairs. I think it was like the Bespin, or I don't know, whatever. But I should know. Sorry, I don't know. But Doug Chang was just like standing there, and I was like, I have to give him a zine. Like, I don't have I have to do it. So I just like went up to him and was like, hello, you are my favorite living artist. Here is a zine. Goodbye. And he was like, oh, okay. And then I just like ran away. So he probably left it somewhere. But
you say that
I have to give it to him.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
And like, that's the thing too with people that work in this field professionally. Like, they love this. Like, I'm sure some don't, but like, I know
they were making this stuff about other stuff before they created the thing that we make our thing about. You know what I mean?
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. And I think
we're like making it about Godzilla and Star Trek. That's just what they were doing before. Yeah, you know?
I think the one I gave to Doug was this one. I think I gave you a couple pictures from this one, but this was the first. Like, this was before I was researching Celebration, because this was fall of 22, and it was the first thing that I truly like researched. And it was kind of, I think, the foundation of my research into Celebration was the research into this one. Oh, that one's good too. We should talk about that later. But those are the first two issues. This here. So
this was great.
Yeah. So the next one is like the first 2 pages, and that's the third page. But I was basically just trying to find out if there was an answer to where the rebel symbol came from. So I was digging in, and I think the answer is that there really is no answer. I think John Molo probably just made it up. I think probably please feel free to email me and correct me if I'm wrong, viewers. But from what I can find, it seemed like because he was a World War I, I think, expert. And so what I was looking at, like, symbols that were in those like regalia for military symbols, because that's what he used a lot of as resources. And I saw the fleur-de-lis, and then I saw the laurel wreath. And then if you go to the next one, it's like, if you put a fleur-de-lis on top of a laurel wreath, that's kind of it.
Yeah. So, really.
I don't know, but that was like a huge moment for me. And I think that really inspired me as far as research goes. that once I took the dive into the Celebration research, I was like, okay, this is my life now.
See, that's the thing too. It's because look, and I don't know if you know, but I'm from Louisiana, and like this is everywhere. Like I live in Baton Rouge. I go to New Orleans all the time. So like I always felt the rebel insignia has reminded me of Fleur de Lis, and I never thought about.
I never thought about it.
The people that the dots in terms of being connected. Like I never said, oh, that's what it's ripped off of. I always thought that looks like vaguely familiar to the insignia.
Yeah,
but like
close.
The one that opens my eyes is this one where it's the Royal Air Force Base one, and it's literally like the perfect shape. And
it
then
really looks like it. It really.
Oh my god! That's incredible.
And he was like a military historian and designed a lot of the costuming and a lot of what the like flavor of the original trilogy is, like Ralph McQuarrie, John Molo, and et cetera, et cetera. So that was such a light bulb moment. And then so being able to like deep dive into something, I love a deep dive. I think you guys can relate. I just love a deep dive. So then I chose Celebration as my deep dive, and it was like, oh, okay, this is like a lifelong deep dive, I guess.
That's the thing. So which ones have you been to, just to talk about that real quick?
Everyone since Chicago. So I've been to Chicago, Anaheim, and London.
Okay. So we missed London. That was the weekend I was getting married, and so Jerry was down here with me. He was our.
Scotty and I are married now.
Yes, no,
congratulations.
He was our.
I was the officiant.
Yeah,
oh, that's great.
Yes. So we had like a Star Wars Celebration Baton Rouge, pretty much down here. But the reason I'm saying all that is because we would have been in London if it hadn't been for that, and like the past celebrations have all been amazing, and like Japan coming up, like. It feels at this point a little underwhelming because we kind of don't know what we're gonna get. I mean, it's been a little sizzly here and there.
It's hard to say, yeah.
It's hard to say now, but the reason I'm saying all that is because these events, there always are these little moments that are so niche and nuanced and small and special that you can't get usually at any other convention, because it's so personal. Like. Just the interactions you have, or the things you hear, the rumors, like I wanted to say this too. Like everyone's like, "Where's next year?" Like Denver would be amazing, If I were to predict anything, like I know D23 has been now, I think in South America, they've done D23 in Europe, I believe, or they've done like. Who's to say it might be in a different country again? I don't know.
My biggest guess, and I think the one I hear the most is Orlando.
That would be peak
because it's big and because of the park and because they did Anaheim recently.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense, but I would not be surprised if they threw a wrench into that and just did something random. But I do think it'll be stateside.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah,
in my brain, but just based off what we've been seeing and what we've been looking at, like foreign country. 2, back to back in COVID in the middle, but like 2 back to back in the States, or 3 back to back. Is it 2 or 3? It was Chicago. It was Orlando, Chicago, then Anaheim. So like, I don't know. With the Visions panel being primarily anime, I'm sure there's some huge reveals there that they haven't got into yet of bigger studios and stuff like that. But people don't realize it's so much more than just the reveals. It's those moments. It's you handing out the fanzines. It's the, 1 year we handed out guitar picks, and that was cool. Like, Star Wars guitar picks. Don't see that. So like when you can put yourself out there like that and show your love and show your art, like it really is a bearing of who you are. And like I wanted to look at the other one. So which one is it? This was the one you wanted to see. This one?
Well, this was cool because this was a fanzine history little deep dive I did.
See?
So I don't know if you saw. If you go to the next page, you can see it. It was a letter that went super viral because it was like, it was marketed in I think it got popular on Reddit. Shocker! And it was this zine Against the Sith, which by the way is like a legendary fanzine. Against the Sith was a big one for a very short amount of time, but it was big. And the people who wrote it they had issues with Empire Strikes Back. So they wrote this letter, which by the date, I think, this was a while after they had seen it. So there was even more. There was another letter it's a whole story, but basically it was being like posted on Reddit as like, oh, Star Wars fans have always been annoying. Like these people didn't like Empire Strikes Back and they ended their zine. But it's like, I was like, that cannot possibly be the story. So I dug into it, and yeah, it's not the story at all. They did have issues with Empire Strikes Back, but they also saw it in a theater with a missing reel or something. So they were like super confused. They saw it in a really weird environment. And then also they were both like going away or moving to school. They were sisters and they were moving. So it was like, it was ending for very organic reasons. And they did end up liking Empire a lot. They ended up seeing it like 3 or 4 times after that. And they did like it. So it was just, I hated that false narrative about this fanzine was out there. So I was like, I have to deep dive on this. And I think I did a deep dive episode on my podcast about it too. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Oh man, a false narrative coming out on Reddit? No way.
Never.
That's, insane. Yeah, no.
May
never be.
But shout out to fanlore.org. Fanlore.org is an incredible resource for fanzines. They have a ton of scans. They have a ton of just like firsthand accounts and stuff of fanzines. It's really, really good. And I've used it a lot for whenever I do fanzine history stuff.
Here it is. Yeah. Is this it right here? Okay, cool.
It's just for fanzines. I can't vouch for it on everything because I haven't seen everything. But as far as the Star Wars fanzine pages go, it's just really good record keeping, which of course I'm obsessed with. So.
Oh, this is cool. Yeah, look, see fanzine archives. That's cool. Oh, look at this. This is sick.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Thorough as well. Very.
See, that's the kind of stuff we also like here. And I know you probably flipped through our other stuff, but like we, last year at the 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace, we're like, we're going to go all out. And like we did every bit of marketing. We talked about the Taco Bell. We did all that.
The best.
The celebration.
We do an entire episode on Marfalump. We did an entire episode on Marfalump.
Yeah. And like,
so good.
There's something to be said about like when you've got like, this is something I hate talking about because it sounds so arrogant, but like you got the kid with the Star Wars shirt or like the adult that starts like, yeah, I love the movies. You're like, oh, cool. Like, and they're like, what do you do? Like, do you got a podcast? You must really like them. I'm like,
yeah.
It's so much more than just really like
shitless. Anytime someone in a Star Wars shirt is like, oh, you like Star Wars? I'm scared shitless every time.
Honestly, anytime someone says that to me, I'm just like, because I'm afraid that they're gonna be shitty, and then I'm just gonna be sad. So I'm like, yeah,
shitty or scared off by how
that
deep
too.
it consumes me as well. See, like it's with me at least.
But it's Celebration, and I wish everyone in our chat would be able to go to one. Because at Celebration, everyone there, for the most part, is on the same level as you.
Yeah, it's
if
unmatched.
You make a reference, it's such a surreal experience because half of our experiences, if we're at shopping or somewhere, or you see a friend from high school or whatever it is,
right?
And they're like, oh yeah, you like Star, like that's your thing or something, and you're like, oh buddy, it's no disrespect to them.
Star Wars Celebration is a place where you can get like over the moon excited because there's the guy who said, just let the girl speak. And like thousands of people will throng to that person because we all fucking love that little like
exactly.
line. We all listen to the little background dialogue. I see them. Wait, Leia, all this shit. We love all those lines, all of them.
It's so true. Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing about Celebration by far is the community of it, and just like. And the swag, and I mean, I'm so excited for you that you have a panel.
So nervous. I'm so excited
because I had one in London, and it was.
What was yours? What was yours?
It was called Galaxy Brain. It was on the university stage, also, which was great. And they used pictures of it in like a ton of the promotion for Japan when they talked about like the fan panels. It was me and my very good friends Robin and Michelle.
I saw your face. Oh my god! Wait! I know it's the submission page because I looked at that submission page for like hours. Like, how am I going to do this?
Scotty's been slaving away. Yeah, the past year, like getting ready for this. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, part of me feels like because our panel was the last day, so I feel like maybe they got to the last day and they were like, "Oh shit, we didn't take pictures of any fan panels."
This is amazing. Look right here. There she is.
Let's see this. Hold on.
Do y'all see it? Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Wait.
No, it's like we're looking at you. Oh, there you are.
There's me and Robin and Michelle's elbow.
Beautiful.
Can I click on it? Let's see, because I know you can't submit any longer. Oh no!
I know.
Damn it! But it was like probably in the Twitter posts and everything, right?
I think so. Yeah, but it was.
Oh my god, I love that.
But the episode, the panel was all about, and it's available on the Force Time podcast feed. So
a Force Time, great
it
show.
Is up there.
Oh, Force Time is getting. They got the Joseph Campbell Foundation, right? Is that? Or no?
No,
I think it's someone else.
That might be What the Force.
What the Force? Sorry, I got.
Which is MC, and MC is the best, and What the Force is the best. But Force Time is my very good friend Travis, who also edits my podcast. And it's his podcast. He would say it's our podcast. I say it's his podcast, but I'm on it for like all the show breakdowns and stuff like that. So so it's on his feed because my podcast didn't exist yet. But it was called Galaxy Brain, and it was about the history of fan speculation. So that was super, super fun.
Oh, I love. Can you tell us more about that? That sounds sick.
It was so fun. We talked about. I went through fanzines a lot for that, especially for The Other. Who is the Other? That was, when in Empire Yoda says there's another. That was like a huge speculation piece in the early 80s. People were going nuts about that. People thought it was some people Boba Fett. Some people thought it was Lando. Crazy.
How weird.
And like
you mentioned if it was Boba Fett. Yeah.
It still might be. I mean, do we know?
Yeah, do we know, man?
It's fair.
No. It's Lobot. Lobot's my other favorite. It's Krennic and Lobot are my two favorites. Anyway, so it was that, and then what else? We're just talking about like because that was like still kind of soon after Rise of Skywalker. I feel like that was such a huge speculation time for me, and I still do it, but on a smaller scale, just and about like the age-old speculate responsibly, and and just about like the downsides of speculation, but also how it can really build community and build your friendships, and how it's like it's fun, but you have to kind of remove yourself in a way and like be at peace with what happens no matter what, which is very hard. But but it was cool to look back on like the way that people speculated leading up to like for Revenge of the Sith, for example. Speculation was totally different during the prequels because spoilers were not as like they didn't closely guard stuff as
fragile.
Much.
Yeah.
The novel would come out like before the movie type
CD.
Yeah, so
video game.
Yeah, Qui-Gon's noble end, right? But for Revenge of the Sith, it was the hyperspace webcam was
yes.
Oh yeah,
which is another one of my little obsessions.
I forgot about that thing.
Away from it, but
it wasn't access to any of that footage.
It wasn't even really footage. Is the thing? It was just a picture every couple seconds or something.
Incredible.
So I think even it was bleak, but there's gotta be some
one person.
Yeah, it's gotta be out there.
I know people have it. Hyperspace was such a gold mine of fan interaction and information. You could have your own website on Hyperspace. You could have your own email address on Hyperspace, and it all got erased. But I know one of my friends saved all of her message board interactions and printed them.
So cool.
And I know a lot of people have uploaded and saved stuff, but I don't know. It's kind of spotty and so, but, but I do think that the webcam stuff is out there somewhere, but you can find a lot of it. They would put a lot of the stills from the webcam in Insider, and those insiders are all on Internet Archive, just saying.
So they're accessible. And so wait, hold on. I wanted to show you at this panel. So I actually found a photo that they use for the Celebration Twitter page.
Yeah, there's us.
Which is cool because look, when you're going to do these things, it's kind of nerve-wracking because it's like when they do the submission, it's like you've got 5,000 characters, and then you put in less than 5,000 characters, and it's like actually not. It's like 2,500 characters you can put in. So I had to rewrite my pitch. Like, I'm not kidding, maybe 15, 20 times till it was freaking perfect. And like,
it was so nerve-wracking.
That email you get when it's like, attention, and it's either a denial that you didn't get the panel, because that's happened to us before.
Sure.
For, 2022, we had pitched this like silly trivia like thing for Bombcast, but I knew it wasn't going to get accepted. Like I kind of knew like it's not there, but I waited. Like I submitted in October, and I waited literally. I refreshed every email when they're like late January, and I was like, "Oh my god, this kid is telling me if I made it or not." You know, like I stopped freaking out about this. And yes, I agree. Thank you, Trey. It's something to be said about when you can go up there and can just show your love and just say, "This is what I want to talk about." And look, how many people were there? I don't want to. I'm just curious. What
the room was definitely full.
See,
I mean, I blacked out, but in a good way, you know, like when you just black out because you're in peril. But it was, I mean, it was definitely a full room, which is incredible. And I made this
awesome.
I made this huge PowerPoint presentation to go with it, which was really nice. And yeah, it was just really good. And then, you know, it was just great. It was wonderful. And that's such a big part of what makes Celebration great. Even as I look back on, I mean, even if you want to say in the first one, it's hard to say that there were fan panels in the first one because you could say that there weren't, but also Gus Lopez did do some, and the collectors, they did do a couple panels. They got rained out the first day, and then they did do a couple on the next 2 days. So it has been a part of Celebration since the very, very, very beginning. And I think it's something that is so special. And yeah, I love it. I mean, the collecting track, that's a whole nother story. They are so cool. They're just like the coolest people in the world. They're amazing. And I love talking to them and learning more about them. And they keep really great records, which I love. And the Star Wars Collectors Archive is great. And you can see a lot of the stuff on YouTube still. And it's like, it's just great. And I have such like a love for collectors, even though I myself don't really collect anything. But I think that they are just really cool. So like I just love to talk to them, and the collecting panels are incredible. The swag they hand out is incredible, and that's all fan grown. Like that's all you know.
I remember and I hate to be this guy, but you understand this. Like I remember the day going to see Pablo talk. I forgot who it was even with, but Pablo went and talked about naming people in the cantina room that had not been named yet. And that was at Celebration 2017, I think. And they did it again in 2019. Yeah. But like you it's just so surreal. It's just like you're and you can give them your swag and they're like, "Oh, thank you so much." And then you've got these moments where you're up there just talking about exactly what you want, and
it's amazing.
People are there to listen.
It's
and
Tom Spina, yeah.
That's what I thought it was, but I didn't want to say it in case it wasn't.
Regal Robots.
It is so
Is
cool.
Does Gabe and
yes,
they don't get up there with them as well, do they?
Yeah,
they did one. They did one in Anaheim with Tom, and that was incredible. And
right.
Yeah, and they have Tom on their podcast all the time, and
all the time.
Oh, all the time.
So the knowledge is just incredible. It's like encyclopedic. It's great.
I wish I could just tell everyone in the world that even is not a deep fan like we are, just to be like, hey, you got to go to a celebration. Like you just got to.
It's great.
I've got. There's truly nothing like it, and it's like a shot to the veins. I mean, it's just
it
adrenaline.
Really is.
Like,
can we talk about weird stuff though? Because I have a couple
let's do it.
Weird things that I feel like you guys will like.
Yes. Please.
Okay, so the first one that comes to mind is, well, okay, I'll tell you guys this. I don't have a third source. I have two sources. I want to get for this one. I want three before I say it's true. But I have heard that Alice Cooper was at Celebration 1 with his child.
That is so.
He went with his kid, I think, and I read an account where somebody said, I think I saw Alice Cooper, and and then I asked Dan, and Dan said yes. So I am waiting for a third confirmation on that, but that's a really fun, weird thing.
If Dad says it was true, then I believe it.
I've got to see how I can reach out to Alice Cooper. That is not a joke. I am going to figure out. This is going to be my
Let's reach out to Alice's people. Absolutely.
God, I can't. So that's really funny. And then My other favorite thing is you should really Google it. Star Wars Celebration Commitment Chapel or Chapel Commitment Ceremony. This was, I believe it was Celebration 5. You might have to correct me because it was 4 or 5. My heart says that it's 5. Wait, I took a screenshot before we talked, but this was, where was it? Yeah.
Okay, wait. Yeah, I found some. Yeah. It's I see a Wikipedia. Okay, here's a photo of it.
You can find an image, and it was, you could, for $75 at Celebration 5, you could have a commitment ceremony performed by either a Jedi or a Sith. I think Darth Maul did some. I think that the Elvis Stormtrooper did some.
This is insane.
But it was
looking.
like a gazebo with like a there's the Elvis Trooper.
I was to say, look at Elvis. Look at the Elvis Trooper.
Yeah, he's there all the time. But there was like a whole gazebo. You have to find the setup because it was like
found it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Star Wars Commitment Chapel. Celebrate the love.
What does it even mean? Like a commitment?
Well, I will
to Star Wars.
I will read. No, it was like
to consumerism.
I screenshotted on Force.net. They put the actual StarWars.com article, and it says, "In our galaxy and far, far away, love is the strongest force of all." Totally, it is a power that's okay. Blah 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 blah. And Star Wars fans will be able to express their deep commitment to their special someone at the Star Wars Celebration Chapel.
Shut up.
Choose between a light side and dark side ceremony and have your union officiated by your choice of colorful characters from the Star Wars saga. But then it says, please note, Star Wars Celebration 5's commitment ceremonies are for enjoyment only. They do not grant any legal rights, and they are not legally valid in any state except your state of mind.
Oh, so it was like the promise ring, the Star Wars promise ring is what this was essentially.
It was just like a cute little thing. So that is one of my favorite wacky things that I found.
Can Bombad, the next stateside, can we get a booth and make it the Star Wars Commitment Chapel? Can we do that? Can we get like Ken Knapsack on there with us to like help us? Like,
my God.
Like that's our
That's it.
bread and butter for
you guys are gonna like accidentally legally bind a bunch of people.
That's right.
that's
what I'm saying.
Minister. I am a legal minister. I can do it.
Oh my God.
No, Kara. So one thing I explain to people too that have never been to Celebration, I'm like, there's a tattoo alley. Like people don't know that. There is a full-on tattoo alley.
It's a floor. It's an entire floor.
I'll give you a sneak peek into next week on my podcast.
Okay.
Today I talked to the guy who was the founder of the tattoo track. His name is Shane Turgeon, and he's really cool.
God, it's awesome.
He started it. It actually started the first time there was ever a tattoo track was at Celebration 3. And that was 20 years ago. So I talked to him. I'm going to do a blog post to go with it and everything. But yeah, the tattoo track is incredible. And they in 2010 is when they started actually doing tattoos on site. It's amazing.
Then amazing. Look, there's a video that StarWars.com.
Yeah, that's
posted.
Kristen. She's really cool.
Look at this.
she gets this like beautiful Japor snippet tattoo too. And Mark Draven is he's in charge of the tattoo track now with Ink Fusion. But Shane was like at the very, very start at Celebration 3.
I just couldn't explain this to people.
We need to set a new Patreon goal, Scotty. Like for the next stateside celebration, if you guys get enough people to join our Patreon, we will get matching Stay Bombad tattoos.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I was telling Shane today, I was like, I would love to get tattooed. Like I'm heavily tattooed. Like I would love to get tattooed at Celebration, but I don't think I could sit still.
No, not there.
You know, but
it's have to be like taking care of it the rest of the time.
Well, that too, but like just be. I don't think I could sit still because I'm so frantic at Celebration. But they have incredible artists, and it's so cool that that's a feature of it. Is amazing.
Oh, it was mind blowing. We were there in 2017. I'm like, what is this? And me and my wife,
so cool.
Girlfriend at the time, we're just walking up and down, looking at everyone getting tattooed, and it's so cool because it's not like weird, you know. People just go look. You're like,
yeah.
He's getting the rebel.
And then they have the competition at the end, which is like the culmination of it, which is just so cool.
Yeah, we all live for this damn convention. I mean,
True. Wait, one more weird thing that you'll really like.
Yeah. Oh, please.
Look up the Celebration 6 badges. So Celebration like VI, the badges. This whatever this, it was right before the Disney acquisition. The images did carry over into the next Europe celebration as well, but they are very unique.
Look at that Jar Jar.
These are terrible. I love these. Oh,
they're insane.
How odd.
They are insane in a
what
good
in the
way.
hell? Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can zoom in more on this. Do you see this?
Yeah, zoom in on this. It's what is this?
It's like they're all partying. Because I think Celebration 6 was in 2007. So that
would have been the 30th.
Exactly. So yeah. So it's like they're all partying, but it's like very strange Photoshop. Like if you can find the Han one, he's like
it's the Yoda with glasses is
Yoda in aviators. Darth
People complained about this one, like Anaheim and stuff. And I mean, like, come on. But
Darth Maul.
You tell me I could have had Queen Amidala, like getting crunk
it out
or something. Like, come
in
on,
Mardi Gras beads. Yeah.
What in the world? Oh, look,
here we go. The Han one, he's like
terrible.
Hold on, zoom in on that.
They're so absurd.
Hold on, let me click on this. Let me see if I can take you to a better looking site. Oh, there we go. Yes, dude.
They are so absurd, but I
yes,
love them.
Dude. Y'all
shout
see
out
it?
to Club Jade, by the way.
Oh
my God, what is up with Yoda's face? Get closer.
He's like,
what is
like Palpatine's got like beads on.
He's got Mardi Gras beads.
Yeah, he's like
if this was in New Orleans, it would make sense.
Them. Yeah,
it would make a lot of sense.
But those are great. And then there was also like a big, like that was the art for all of it. So there was another like really big image that was like a group photo, and it had all of them like posing together, and like R2D2 was, I think, taking a selfie or something. Yeah. So that's my other.
Oh, look, here we go. Okay, I found.
Can we get these again?
I would love them again. 2027. Give me some aviators and some confetti.
It appears like Grievous has a party mustache on.
Yes, Grievous has a mustache. Yes.
Oh,
you should go to the Star Wars Celebration badge and pass archive. That he's the best, and he has a high quality of all of them. But yeah, Lando.
Star Wars Celebration badge. Where is that at? Is it
It's a website. It's just the Star Wars Celebration badge and pass archive. It's like SWC BPA.
Okay, let's see.
But he's a collector.
That is it. What the shit? This is
got
awesome.
all of them.
You have already supplied us with enough discussions and just joy and
you
love.
Programmed the show for the next 2 years.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great site because he's got all the badges from all of them. So it's cool to see how they
the first ones, I remember seeing those things.
They're stunning.
In Star Wars Inside, because I was like always trying. My local grocery store would have one every now and then, and I would always beg my mom to get it for me every time we were in there. And so.
I will say I did find out who the artist is of the Celebration 1 badges. His name was, as far as I know, his name was Johnny Kwan, and he did some really cool Dick Tracy art. So there's an interesting fact.
Oh, that is an interesting
that
fact.
Sounds cool.
Wow.
I'm 99% sure it was him.
Some of these, oh wow, look at
they
this.
Really
we need
with
some of those Jar Jar badges, Scotty. We gotta have.
No, we do.
You can get it on eBay for sure. I love the Gendy art being on the badges.
Yes.
It's very cool.
Oh wow, what
very
an era.
very neat. Celebration.
Some of these
4
are
is very
loading in
unique.
kind of weird. I think it might be a me problem. Let me see if I can refresh this and fix it. Man, this is, I did not know this exists. This is something we will just.
Yeah, it's a great site. It's a very good site. He has all of them on there.
Oh, look at these. These are cool.
Those are weird. Europe. Yeah.
I like those.
I like that vibe a lot. Yeah. And then Japan was very like, Japan 2008 was very like, Toys R Us based.
Oh yeah, look at it.
Really emphasizing the Toys R Us partnership. But I think they were holographic. Okay. I do think they.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Okay. You know, they had that little thing when you moved them.
Do y'all see them as I go through them? Okay, yeah. Oh yes, they can change between them.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
I love that logo. Ugh, the triangle logo. I can't.
They revealed this year's badges, right? Am I going crazy?
Oh my god,
They have they're beautiful.
This year's badges are
Japanese inspired.
absolutely insane. They're incredible. It's one of them is my cell phone background right now.
Yeah,
yeah. Somebody somebody in the Celebration Facebook group put them up as like backgrounds. So like,
oh, brilliant.
So
very nice.
good. Yeah, but Grievous does have a mustache. Is the moral of the story?
I gotta find this. It's just loading weird. Do y'all see that it's loading weird? Is it
Yes,
just me?
definitely.
Okay.
No, I see it.
I don't know what's like. They look broken PNG files, but anyway, regardless of all that, this is so freaking cool.
C-3PO
man.
Janko jeans. I like that.
Oh wow! And you got any other fun facts for us? Anything weird?
I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, the rest isn't really weird. It's just like cool stuff. There's a really cool project. I'm gonna be blogging about Japan 2008 in April. I'm gonna like in the lead up to the next one. I'm gonna post some blog posts about 2008. But they had a really cool exhibit. It was actually at Celebration 4. And I think at the following Europe as well, but it was called the Vader Project. And they gave Vader helmets to a bunch of like really cool artists, and they just got to do whatever they wanted to the helmet. And then they brought the helmets and put them on display. So you can see they painted them, they sculpted on them, they like did all these cool things to them, and you could walk through and see them all. There's a lot of really great photo evidence of that. So
I think in 2017, I believe they did that with dolls, like baby dolls. And they had this crazy looking Darth Maul baby doll, and Kate, my wife, was like, "I'd actually buy that." Like that was a licensed thing. It was like
the Chicago thing.
Was it Chicago? Was it Orlando?
Chicago had.
There is an artist.
I remember seeing a Darth Maul baby doll. I remember seeing the Darth Maul Cabbage Patch Kid.
Darth Maul baby doll. So much.
There is an artist I know that makes Star Wars dolls.
Darth Baby Maul.
And they have exhibited at Celebration before.
I'm gonna look. You have now put.
I might have a picture of it. Honestly.
Okay, that's what I literally was gonna do. You put me in a mood now to look through my Celebration photos because you know this feeling.
It's a treasure trove.
It is
a treasure trove.
Oh my god! 2 days ago, I was digging through Flickr and just searching every combination of Star Wars Celebration in 2005, trying to find as many pictures from C3 as I could.
I love this.
Like, if you have a Flickr and your Celebration pictures are on it, I'm in your Flickr, folks. Like,
just. And you have been since 2000 and whenever Flickr started, 2005.
Look, I'm in your Flickr and I will credit you. Like, you'll be linked, so don't worry about it. But I am in your Flickr.
I found it. I found the Darth Maul baby doll. Found it. Hold on, let me show you. This is Celebration Chicago. So this was
okay.
And by the way, I know we've talked about like, Celebration Chicago being like kind of like the weird moment where we all kind of became this one. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it was just everything.
There was a sense of oneness that came from it for sure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a picture of Game of Thrones Oreos one booth was selling from Chicago. Thing. Yeah, go ahead. Just continue.
But the reason I say it, I just remember so many things vividly, and this is one of the things I remember vividly.
Yes.
Just so bizarre looking. Look at
so
this.
Good. I love it.
So good.
Man. Oh man. Oh, he's going to destroy you. Yeah.
But like,
if the trace was correct, Master, we will find him quickly. Sorry. Okay, please keep going.
It's so stupid. No, it's just this was a really cool time, and like, okay, here's another one. This kind of reminds me of what you were talking about, the Vader helmets. Hold on, this is the one I found. So this is at the Rancho Obi-Wan portion in 2019. Right, and it was all these decorated helmets.
Yes.
So maybe these were from that event as well.
Maybe. I mean, I think the one that Vader with the spikes on it, I'm almost sure was from it. Mm-hmm.
I can't let me.
But yeah, it was just a really cool exhibit that they had. And you can find there's really good picture and video evidence of it, which I'm very grateful for. That's the other thing that's really interesting to see as you go, because specifically I look at Celebrations 1, 2, and 3 because those are the ones that have the most limited record online, I guess. Mm-hmm. But even as you go through those, it's like Celebration 1, you really have to dig. 2, there's like a little bit more. And then even getting up to 3, there's more. And then once you hit Celebration 4, it's like there's too much to even
see. That's the thing. And it becomes oversaturated. Like I could tell you like Like, look at me being a little archivist, but like in this video I have of me and my wife walking around, like it's us in the art booth. And like, I think I had my GoPro at the time. And like, this is the kind of stuff we're going to look back on in 20 years ago. Holy shit. Like, I can't believe we have this still. And like someone, took a recording of this. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know, that's the point of what we do as fans, number one. But the fact that we have an ability to share this stuff publicly, and there's a space for this kind of stuff, is kind of why we do what we do. Like, it's special. Like, look at this. I mean, these are prints that are probably hard to get.
I love that K2SO print too. It's incredible.
But like,
I found my one picture of the baby doll
did you?
Booth. And get ready, because it does have a Darth Maul in it, but it is not the one you're expecting. Here, let me see if we can. Come on. There we go. Can we see it?
Oh, I see it now. I see it now.
Wow.
It's Animal.
This is the way that I do. Yeah. Anyway,
that's how Jerry produces.
Hey, you see this thing on my phone?
I do that too.
It's
so true. It's like, and the Star Wars, the Celebration art show is like always so great. And yeah, hopefully I'll be having an interview on my podcast about that soon. So fingers crossed. But
okay.
The artists are all so incredible. The limited prints are like unreal. And it's always the best to walk around.
You're so caught up in the moment, and you can't believe kind of what you're experiencing. Like, there's a weird, like, it's almost dreamlike, as nerdy as that sounds, but there's like a vertigo effect you get where everything you love is around you. And like, you see toys you had as a kid, or you see toys that you wish you had as a kid, and like, or even just posters or things or Blu-rays or whatever it is. And you're in such a moment. I need to.
Hi, Kelly. Hi.
Kelly's the best. But like, I was thinking about this earlier, just like how dreamlike it already is. Now I have friends that go to these things. Like you said, 2019, you didn't know anybody. You were just there. And I know in 2023, you probably had a
I went by myself. I went by myself to the Chicago one, knowing not a soul. And I came away with like this knucklehead that I talk to every damn week. And stuff like that, and just so many other people, and even at Anaheim, so many other friends and things like that. It is like a little, it's a respite from the madness outside, the reality a little bit. It's not escapism, as in that, like, like the bad kind of escapism, but just like it's a very needed vacation sometimes.
Absolutely.
From the day to day. So
totally 100%. Yeah.
God,
just watching this, I'm like,
just like, look at it. Look at that. Look at that.
This is a fucking fever dream. And it's so in the moment. And that's the thing about these, look, there's Star Tours guys. You see them to the right. This is the Star Tour employees.
Guys.
Oh, that's great.
We need to before you go to Celebration, we should do like we should put together like a vacation photos kind of like stream or something, Scotty, about like our past, like the past couple that we've went to or something.
I'm so
like
down. We're just going through slideshows. Yeah. I'm so glad you came on for this, Kara, because this is the kind of stuff
Kara,
that,
thank you.
This is a really niche thing, and people that have never been to a celebration, we've got friends, I'm not gonna call anybody out, but we're in a group chat with a bunch of Star Wars people, and they're like, I just don't get why everyone gets so excited when they're like, do the line. I'm like, it's not that they're doing the line. It's like imagine if one of Jesus' apostles came out and they were like, this is where the fun begins, and you're like, yes! People don't get that shit.
That's a great way to describe it. Kelly also said that in the Mando panel, Carl Weathers said it had the same energy as a football playoff game.
Absolutely 100%.
Yeah, it's just like you're cheering for the home team. Everyone's in a good spirit. It's great. You don't have to worry about losing though. It's just like everyone's just like excited to be there.
I'm so good because there used to be an argument. We had friends that would like go spend thousands of dollars to go to LSU games, and like they would go to like different states and get hotels, and just for that team to lose. And then like I was like, I would spend like $1,000 like just once a year, to go to wherever, Anaheim, Chicago, Orlando, and like, have my money saved up. But I know when I get there, I'm gonna win. Like I know, there's no way I'm disappointed. No way.
It's just gonna be me and you. It's just gonna be me and Scotty hanging out with like 500 people, like just getting drunk every night and talking about how Jar Jar Binks stepping in poop does not do anything but make that movie better. So
absolutely. Oh yeah, the rants that I was going on some of those nights, just like yeah, in a good way.
You get into some great stuff.
It's true.
Carrie, is there anything else you want to talk about? Because I've had an absolute ball with you.
This has been wonderful.
You got to come back on.
Anytime.
Okay,
literally.
Perfect. For real.
Yeah, I mean, I have my Patreon is cool. I have a podcast where I talk to people. It's not about Celebration, but it ends up being about Celebration because I'm insane. And and my blog is also I'm really putting a lot of work into my blog because I've been researching this for a few years now, and it's like that's my way to kind of start to share it with the world. So I'm really passionate about that. Right now I'm covering Celebration 3 for the 20th anniversary. Technically it's next month, but next month's a little flippin' busy. So I'm doing Celebration 3 this month. And I'm going to cover a bunch of stuff. George's panel, because George was at Celebration 3.
Oh, yes.
Insane. And there was a lot of other really cool stuff there. And it was the first tattoo track. It was the first time that the artist had limited edition prints. It was the first for a lot of things. And it was just like, if I broke Celebration into eras, like that is definitely when it was like becoming closer to what it is now, I feel like. So there's a lot of really cool tidbits. It was like my other favorite Celebration 3 tidbit quickly is that it was like the biggest group photo of the 501st at the time. And Jay Lagaya came to the photo op as Captain Typho, like in the costume.
Wow.
Incredible. So I will be blogging about that. Blah blah blah. Beautiful. So the blog is really fun. The blog is like my whole life right now, and hopefully the Celebration 1 zine is going to get an extended edition this year. Because I just keep getting more, so I want to make it a little longer. My goal is to do one of these for probably 1, 2, and 3 at the least, with the timeline, with the dates of everything. Probably I'll end up doing all of them someday. Maybe I'll write a book I don't know.
Hey, if I'm gonna be honest with you, writing a book, as scary as it is, because it's like I've written my essay for this panel, right?
Yeah.
And like when you write it, and I got an editor to edit it, like when you get it back and it's kind of not exactly how you saw it in your brain, but it's better because it's not exactly your phrasing. I'm gonna be real with you, unbelievably satisfying. You feel like a professional, like you got something done, like officially, right? The reason I'm saying all that is because you can go through places like Amazon and get it published very cheap. And I think Barnes and Nobles has a publishing outlet now too. So like, I don't know. There's
yeah. I think for me, awesome. I think my problem is that, and it's a good problem in a way, but I'm such a completionist that I'm like, it's this kind of thing where it's like the work is never done, because it's like it'll never be done until I've talked to every single human being that was at Celebration 1. Like that's just not gonna happen. Right.
Yeah.
So I kind of, and I have a Dr. Chris Kempshall who wrote The Rise and Fall of the
yes.
Right.
He's like he's so cool, and he's a literal historian, and he's been so kind and talked to me. He was on my podcast and lets me ask him questions about like historical research. And I asked him that once. I was like, how do you know when you're done? And he was like, you just kind of have to stop. And it's like, I don't think I can ever stop.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, and the other thing I would say is just that if you were at Celebrations 1, 2, or 3, please feel free to email me and tell me your experience, your memories, send me your pictures. Anytime that I use your pictures, I will always credit you with your name. I really like to credit any sources I use. I'm pretty strict about that. So if you want to send me stuff, please do. Hopefully someday there will be some kind of accessible archive that people can dig into. That's my ultimate dream. So
that could be your path. That could be it. That could be the legacy.
That's
Hopefully.
I love
good.
that.
Yeah.
Hey, did that person you commented under a few days ago? Did they get you anything? They
Oh, the
ever
one
hear back
guy did. I have like a set of questions that I send to everyone who went to Celebration 1, and he did send me those back, I think, pretty sure. But I'm so deep in it. I'm like cold emailing. Like Lego has a historian on staff. They have like a team of historians, and they built that Naboo starship at Celebration 1 in real time. And I have a picture of a crane camera that's filming them. And I was like, who the heck is that? Was it Lego? So I emailed them asking if they know, and they said they couldn't find anything. But I'm always like just reaching out to everyone I can.
Never
You
stop.
never know. You never know.
Yeah, no, never
Never
stop.
stop.
It looks like you got someone volunteering in the chat, and I'll just say, Brian, you were like, were you guys at? He was saying he was in that George panel. I was gonna say, were you 1, 2, and 3? I was gonna say they have been to quite a few. So Brian
That's
and Holly,
amazing. Yes, into a larger world project at gmail.com, and I will send you questions to answer, please.
I love that.
We need your knowledge.
Yes.
To a larger world. I'm gonna put in the comments. Hold on,
Oh, thanks.
gmail.com. But yeah,
And the blog is I haven't said the name of the
Christmas
blog,
tree.
but the blog is called Celebration Database.
Into
Into a larger world project. Into a larger world project at gmail.com.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Into a larger project.
And yeah, the blog is the Celebration Database, celebrationdatabase.com. No,
Okay.
the celebrationdatabase.com. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm still making zines, even though I'm doing all the celebration stuff. I'll be making zines until I'm in an old folks home. So
I
And
love
just keep
that.
making them. Just keep making them and
this
passing them
is
out to the
great.
other residents. You know,
forever.
Let me show you this. Hold on. I'm gonna get this pulled on the screen so everyone can see the website.
Oh,
What a wonderful thing that we could all share and talk about tonight. I mean, honestly, like it's amazing.
Yes,
It's
for real.
It's a very simple. I have very little tech skills, so it's a very basic website, but it's good and gets the stuff out there. So yeah,
the tags, a Flickr, and you can just click on the Flickr link and it'll take you directly to it.
I am
it's
deep in the
great.
Flickr.
Oh, look at this.
Yes.
Oh, I could sit here for hours.
Oh man, look at that Kit Fisto.
That was good, right?
I'll go back.
Yeah, that guy was all over the place.
Look at that. That was awesome. Lime green Kit Fisto is my spirit animal. I love
So
him.
good. And the best is like looking at Celebration 2, and people were already cosplaying Jango Fett, even though it was before Attack of the Clones came out. It's like incredible. It's so fun. And that was big M&Ms, and also Darth Tater was walking around.
Right. I saw Pikachu walking around at a Celebration. I'm pretty sure I have a picture of Pikachu at Celebration Chicago. Just a regular Pikachu.
My wife met the Stormtrooper Grinch, or the Grinch Stormtrooper.
Okay,
that was a really
love
good
that.
one.
Love that.
Very nice.
This is so great.
Yeah, that's one of
what an
the
era.
best things is seeing the cosplay over the years too. That's like really incredible. And can I tell you that Plo Koon? That could be Dave Filoni. Didn't he dress as?
Yes, he did for the premiere. I heard.
I mean,
oh my God,
I
that
don't
might
know.
be.
I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that it could be, right?
It
I mean,
could be.
someone can tell me
Incredible.
no, it's not, and then I'll say okay. I'm
Just
not
look at
saying
this
it is.
image.
I'm just saying it could be.
There's no other place in the world, man. There's just no other place.
It's just the best.
Oh, I love.
There was a
this.
really good Grievous at C3. That Grievous was awesome.
Was he
and
in here?
again,
Oh yeah, there he is.
yes.
Yeah, sorry, I missed him. Wow.
Pre-Revenge of the Sith, like that's
Yep.
pretty
That's
impressive.
That's
Very
insane.
impressive. Oh my God.
God, what an era. Oh my God.
That
Caesar.
Caesar.
Oh my God. It's so funny. Like I've had people like, do y'all wear costumes or dress up for this? And I literally tell them like, we would wear the party store costumes, like, but it would be embarrassing because everything else, it's so unbelievably
people
well
put
done.
work into this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
No,
amazing.
we go for the vibes. We go for the
Yes.
vibes. We wear our t-shirts
Right.
and stuff like that, and we have a good time talking and drinking. That's what we do. Yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
And
today
enjoy
I'm
the cosplay that is very well made by all the cosplayers.
Oh, it's so good. And to plug my own podcast, and also called Into a Larger World. Today I had on Justin Sonfield, who's the Legion commanding officer of the 501st, and he's really cool. So that was a good chat too.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
What a time.
Speaking of
501st guys are really cool. Yeah.
They're so just really
very nice people.
Oh, that's inside the one main hall. And the next one, that guy, he cosplayed as a carded Luke. So that backdrop is a big piece of cardboard he was walking
attached to him.
Incredible.
Yep. Amazing.
Oh, man.
Oh, what an era. I'm gonna get too we're gonna get too deep. I gotta wrap up.
Yes, Daddy's gotta get off of here so he can scroll through these photos. Yeah.
I'm not. My wife's, she's with her sister tonight. They went to stay out of town because they're going to a funeral. So I am 100% doing that. But that being said, Kara, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
I know if you want to plug your stuff again, I know you've said a lot of these things throughout the past 5 minutes, but we cannot thank you enough for coming on here, because this is one of the, I love when a conversation is just so rhythmic and just full of flux and love. It's just it's the best. Thank you again.
Thank you. Yeah, find me on Instagram, Into a Larger World Project, and then you can find everything from there. So yeah,
look, Kara's one of the people that like your story too. Those are
like the story.
I love when a story gets liked. Makes my heart happy.
Always.
It's right here in the heart. Yeah.
But no, make sure you go check out all of our stuff. Join the Patreon, get the fanzine. Bombad's gonna join the Patreon right after this.
Thanks,
you just need to get the PayPal login. But no, to mention Celebration as well. I guess just like Kara, I'm now a part of the Celebration history myself. Make sure you tune in. There's going to be a live stream for this. There will be a pre-recorded video as well. I will be mic'd up. There's getting all that worked out right now. The current, I'll give a sneak peek. The current number of slides, roll for my slideshow, is 176, and I've recorded myself doing the presentation 5 times. Every time it's been around 55 minutes.
That's good.
Okay, it's good because I have an hour. I don't know if do they give you that full hour, or is it kind of like a little bit of play?
On the table there was a clock counting down.
Okay.
But I don't think, it was the last day, so they weren't super coming in with pitchforks to kick you out or anything. But I think 55 is great. That's definitely on the right track. I cannot wait to hear it. I'm so excited for it.
But what's funny, who comes out right after me, who's literally the next person? Jason doing his the George Lucas adventure.
Blast Points. Yeah. Oh my
literally
God.
Yeah, the next panel. So I get to talk, then I get to rest. I'm gonna sit there and watch his, and then
that one is gonna be
that afternoon.
So good.
Oh, I can't wait.
They do good work. Yeah,
Jason
and Gabe do good work.
Yeah, and they've been really digging into that. So, and that's like a dream of theirs to talk about that. Not to mention to talk about it in Japan. It's just so cool.
That's insane.
I can't wait.
Absolutely insane. Hey, maybe your friend Mark Newbold will be doing sound. He was doing that in Chicago.
Oh yeah, he was doing that in Chicago. I don't know if he's going. I'll message him.
Yeah, but, I'm not going to be at Japan. Sadly,
me either.
It's horrible, but I'm kind of like I was at peace with it as soon as they said it was Japan. When I was in London, I was like, it's fine. But I will be following along. Hopefully, me and Travis from Force Time are going to do some kind of live something. I'm hoping to put out a calendar once the full schedule goes up that shows you what it's going to be in your own time zone. That's like my ultimate goal. I don't know. Somebody else is probably going to do it first, which is great. But if not, then I will do it. And yeah, so I'll be Instagramming, and I'm not going to sleep that weekend. So
nope, you can't. 14-hour difference for us. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But no, thank you again. Make sure you check out all of her work, all of Kara's work, other places. Make sure you tune in. Celebration 2025, April 18th, 3 p.m. Get excited. Kara, we have a tradition on every episode. We've got to play a clip for you first. Because it's your first time here. It's the baptismal clip.
The Bombad baptism is what we
It's exactly what it is. I'm just gonna ask how you feel after it, and then we're gonna get you to say "Stay Bombad" to wrap this whole thing up. So here's this.
This is your wake-up call. Time to reach, go for it all. Vulture stirs inside of me, and I know what I can be. Limit is the sky.
Where do you think
he was
goes?
dead the whole time? He was dead the whole time.
I'm feeling like I want a hot steaming cup of Folgers.
Thanks to Paul Stanley, everyone.
Best
Paul
part of
Stanley
waking up.
exists. So I'm glad. Okay, that made you feel that way. Kara, to wrap this thing up, can you give us a good stay bomb bad?
Stay bombad.
Woo! See you next week. We got the Nerd Academy podcast coming on. We're gonna do some whatever they do there. Bye.
Did you say impossible? Pasquale? Only kidding, Chucky. I've changed my tune because I finally thought of a possible dream that we can all share.
What is it?
Pasquale? It's a dream about a world where nobody is poor or sick or hungry.
Oh, now that's a dream we can make come true.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference, gonna make it right.
As I point up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind.
I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A sour's disregard, a broken bottle top,
And a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer.
if you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
Oh yeah,
I'm asking him to change his ways.
come on, change. No message could have been any clearer. If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Oh yeah,
I'm asking him to change his ways.
no message could have been any clearer. If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change.
Time for us to take a break, but we wouldn't dream of being gone for